Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to a new video. And today I'm gonna be reviewing this beautiful palette from Lunar Beauty called the Siren Sunset. And I'm gonna show you 4 looks that I created with her. If this is your first time here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, especially eyeshadows. I love blue and green eyeshadows, so if that's something that interests you, I'll be very happy to see you here on my channel. And today we're gonna look at the Lunar Beauty's Siren Sunset. She is so stunning. The camera will not do it justice. She's just gorgeous. The packaging is like slightly raised. I'm gonna try to show you. I don't know if you can see, but like the moon is slightly raised and the siren on the cliff is raised as well. And it's actually kind of like squishy. So it's cool, but it's not too raised. It's not gonna be bulky. The palette is actually a little bit bigger than I anticipated. I don't know why, but every time I saw somebody holding it, I just assumed that it's not this big. Not that it's, I mean, it's 18 pan palette, and the pans are standard size, but I just assume it's gonna be smaller for some reason. You get 26 grams of product, so it's more than 1 gram of eyeshadow in each of them. And there's 2 kind of multi-chromes, these 2. This one is kind of purpley going to kind of like a deep blue, almost like a turquoisey blue. This one is like a really shiny electric blue going to deep purple. I'm actually wearing it today. Then you have what appears to be standard shimmers. This one is kind of pink going to green as well, so maybe this is another multichrome. I'm gonna show you swatches where you will see everything. These the shimmers that are here and in this row, the second one, they seem a lot more metallic than these 2 shades up here. These seem more like satin shades. I will share with you my final thoughts in the end of the video this time. And also this shade is kind of like iridescent, and it has this greenish shade that you see in my inner corner. So it has some really interesting shimmers. And then you have blue purple mattes, and then green mattes, and then 1 row of neutral mattes. Because of the neutral matte, I kind of was discussing whether I should even buy this palette, because after, well, I thought I'm gonna buy this palette, and then the Winter Wonderland palette from Cosmic Brushes was released, or was revealed, and I was like, well, I get all of these shades in the Winter Wonderland palette, and that palette is a lot cheaper than the Lunar Beauty one. But I got this 50% off over at Monolith Shop. So then it was kind of the same price as the as the Cosmic Brushes formula, and I've always wanted to try Lunar Beauty. This is my first palette, because the only other palette that I've ever been interested in was the Moon Spell palette, or like the spell book type, the first one, I believe. But by the time I discovered her, it was no longer available. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to like ask people around who have it if they could, if they wanna declutter it, and if so, if I could have it. But I always wanted to try Lunar Beauty formula because their palettes are stunning, like the packaging, 100 out of 10. But I don't like neutrals. I don't wear neutrals. I'm gonna try to show you a neutral look with this. I haven't filmed it yet. I'm kind of dreading that part, but I'm gonna try to create something with it and show you like the neutral options here. But yeah, I think apart from this review video, I'm not gonna use the neutrals ever, because especially I don't like wearing neutrals with blues or blue toned shades. I might be okay wearing neutrals with this army green or this deep berry shade, but with these really vibrant purples and vibrant blues, and also with teals, I don't love neutrals. mixed in them, mixed with them. It's just not my thing. It's just not something that I enjoy particularly. So for me, this is gonna be purple, blue, green palette. And the rest will just kind of not get really used. But I'm really happy that I have her. Now let's jump into the 4 looks that I created for you. So for the first look, I want to use the greens with some of the blues. So I definitely want to use this tealy green, this for like deepening up, then probably this deep sea shade and the shade Temptress, because it's kind of like a, because I think it would look the best with these shades, right? So we're gonna start with the shade Merman. Also, I'm wearing my skull earrings. I don't know if you can see them because, you know, Siren sunsets, sirens kill sailors. So I thought that that would be a good idea. I've primed my lids with the Beauty Bay primer. And now we're gonna start with the shade Merman. And this is a very nice kind of deep foresty green. So we're gonna put it in the crease and outer half, kind of like a transition shade. And wow, these are really pigmented. The shades, like when I was touching them, I haven't actually swatched this palette yet when I'm filming this, but I've touched some of them and they seem really smooth and they're really nice to blend so far. So I was really excited about this palette, as I've probably mentioned in the intro, which I haven't filmed yet, but you've already saw it. But I was really excited for this palette because I wanted to try Lunar Beauty for so long, but the palettes that they were releasing were extremely neutral and kind of boring for me because I'm not really a neutral person, obviously. I'm gonna try the neutrals here just like for you to show them and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna probably use them afterwards, so because I don't have a lot of uses for neutral shades. If I ever am in a situation where I would be forced to wear neutrals, I'm just not gonna wear any eyeshadows. That's kind of how I work. But that's my own personal thing. I don't have to wear makeup, and when I do, and when I wear it, I want to have fun. So now we're gonna use Ariel, which is a beautiful kind of greenish turquoisey sea foamy color, and I'm gonna use a very like a brush that's for like diffusing and blending, and we're gonna put it in the inner half of the crease. Ooh, that's pretty. I think it's slightly darker on the eyes than it is in the pan, so if you like very pastel-y shades, you're not gonna really love it, but you can always use different shades from your collection. I do that all the time, especially for either really light shades or really dark shades. So we're kind of gonna also blend the edges of the previous shade. These two shades are like a perfect color for my eyes because I have kind of like bluish green eyes, so these colors really make my eyes super deep and cool and fun. And I think it also goes really well with my other features. So these shades are kind of like my neutral shades, or shades that I use a lot and wear a lot. So kind of like this. And then on the lower lash line and also in the inner and also in the outer corner, I'm gonna try to use this shade. So I want to have it as a accent color on the lower lash line. It's called Deep Sea, by the way. And I'm gonna try to deepen up the outer half of the crease as well. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it could. It seems like a very pigmented shade, and it is quite deep. So I might be able to do that. Oh, that looks beautiful. So we're gonna first put it in the on the lower lash line. Oh, that's a pretty shade. That's a very pretty shade, actually. I love me a good deep blue shade. And I'm gonna try to put a little bit here as well. Yeah, it works. It's making it darker. And now on a flat brush, I'm gonna take this beautiful kind of electric blue, like very vibrant blue shade called Temptress, and it looks like a duochrome between this blue and kind of like a deeper purple. And this seems to be like a very smooth shade, so we'll see how sparkly it's gonna be. Ooh. It's not as metallic as the shades that I have in my collections, like from Uden's Eye or Cosmic Brushes or any other brand, but it's extremely smooth formula. I just would wish maybe a little bit more metallicness. I mean, it's sparkly. It's definitely sparkly. I just personally prefer even more bling. If you like very smooth shimmer shadows, this will be for you. And then in the inner corner, I need to use the shade Water Nymph. It looks like a iridescent white shade with a little bit of like a green in it. So we're gonna try. Yes, it's a very minty color. Oh, that's beautiful. I was trying to see in the pan with like different lights if I'm gonna see any shift, because I remember from the reveal video and even from Angie's video that she said that this one is kind of like a greener shade, and I couldn't see it from in the pan, you know, but it's actually stunning. I'm gonna connect it to the blue a little bit in the inner corner, kind of like so. Again, super smooth. This one is definitely a lot more metallic, but it's a smooth formula that I don't think will show like texture too much. This shade in the formula and in the texture, it reminds me the greeny highlighter from the Hello Bean palette from with Betty Bean and Shroud. And it's kind of similar shade. This one is more minty. It has more like cool toned green, whereas that one from the Shroud palette has more goldy green in it. But the way that they look on the eyes and the texture, it's kind of similar. Okay, so this is the finished look. I just used the Odin's Eye and some Solmana gel liner in the shade 04 because it is very similar to the shade Ariel. Then I used the Extra Super Lash from Rimmel, the mascara. Then I have the Unearthly Devour lip, the satin one in the shade Yummy, because I usually, when I wear these deeper blue shades, I like to have darker lips, so that's what I did. And I haven't used blush because I've forgotten, but for highlighter I used again the Water Nymph and it looks stunning. I think you can see that it has that like goldy green sheen. I love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So this is the finished look. I will also show you a close-up. I will also show you a close-up of this. And yeah, did I forget something? Yeah, I forgot to use concealer, so there's no concealer. But yeah, that's it for the first look, and now let's jump right into the look number 2. Okay, so for the second look, I want to play with the purples and the pinky shade here. So I'm kind of gonna play with this area. We're definitely gonna start with the shade Seductress and see how pigmented and how opaque it's gonna be on the eyes. And maybe we're gonna use one of the more neutrally shades to soften it up in the inner part of the lid. I'm not sure. I mean, it's not too dark to be used all over the crease, but I should probably try some of the lighter neutral shades as well. But I want to see how Lunar Beauty does their purples. And this shade is very pretty. It's kind of that like bluish purple instead of more like reddish version of it. And it's very bright, goes on super smoothly, feels amazing, blends really easily, doesn't skip. This is actually a really nice formula. So now we're gonna take the shade Alluring, which looks like a very deep berry shade. So these two mattes blend really nicely together. I hope you can see it well, but they blended really nice together. And now, you know what, we're gonna use Starfish because it has a bit of pinky kind of undertone to it. In the inner part, just like a little bit. Will this work? I don't know. As I mentioned, yeah, it looks kind of pinky. As I mentioned in the previous video, testing the neutrally shades will be kind of complicated task for me because I don't really wear them. And now for the shimmers, I want to start with the shade Siren, which is this purple to blue duochrome. Spray the brush with a setting spray. At least I'm gonna see if it looks better with setting spray or if it's the same. You probably, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't even need to spray it because there's very little fallout. This purple is kind of similar to the matte shade next to it, the shade Seductress. These two would pair really nicely together. They're pretty much the same shade. And I'm gonna use the shade Sea Witch, this one, which I think is also kind of duochrome, multichrome something. Ooh. Okay, so it looks like a kind of raspberry pinky purple. And there's definitely some flip to it. I just can't really tell what the flip is. Now I want to use the shade Pink Pearl, which also looks like iridescent shade. And I guess it's gonna have pink reflect. So this one, pink would definitely work. And it is pinky. Okay, so this is the finished look. I've just used the same mascara as before. Then on my waterline, I have the Colourpop BFF Cream Gel Liner, and this one is in the shade Amethyst Hour. Then I have the Essence Multitask Concealer in the shade Peachy Ivory. And then I used these, I don't know if you can see that, this stencil that's for nails, for nail art, and it's kind of like a scales, like fish scales, or how do you call that? And I used again the shade Pink Pearl to apply it on my cheeks. And here is the, I don't know if you, yeah, I think you can see it. There's like a little bit of scaliness happening on my cheeks. So hopefully you can see that. And I didn't really know what to do for the lips, but I think this shade Rubino from the Kaleidos Cloud Lip Clay line would be nice. And I think I'm gonna top it with this Havoc lipstick from Unearthly. This is the lip gloss from the Devour collection. I think it could work because it's kind of like pinky. It has some pink shimmers in it. So I thought it could work. I don't know, let me know. I never really know what lipsticks to pair with eye looks. But yeah, this is the finished look. Let me know what you think about the cheeks. And yeah, this will be the second look with the Siren Sunset palette. I will also show you close-ups. And let's jump into the third look of this video. So for the third look with this, with the Lunar Beauty Siren Sunset palette, I know I want to play with the shade Coastline, and I think we could pair it with Siren Song. I think that's how it's called. So I'm gonna start with Low Tide, then I think we're gonna blend it out with the Shell. Is it Shell? Yes. With the Shell shade. And then we're gonna deepen it up with the shade Current. So I guess today is gonna be kind of like a neutral day. We're starting with Low Tide as a transition shade. Also, if my brows look weird, sorry for that. I've been trying new brow product today and I'm not really sure if I know how to use it, and it was kind of complicated. So they're definitely not even and they're kind of weird. So ignore that, okay? I feel like on the eyes, it looks more like the shade Mystery for some reason. I'm gonna take the shade Shell, so the really light one, and I'm just gonna kind of soften the beginning of the crease. This is actually kind of nice bony color. You can use this under your brows to kind of connect or like to blend the shades into your skin color. Now we're gonna go with the shade Current, which is the top right shade, the deeper brown. And like I don't mind deeper browns because I can use them with most shades to deepen up the look. And this looks almost black. It's that like this one is deeper than in the pan, I believe. Like it's a lot darker. So I think this will be a nice deepening up shade for pretty much most, well, I think for all the palette. I need to use the shade Coastline because it's a gorgeous shade. This one, I don't even know if this actually has a flip. I noticed that these two flip green, the pink and the purple one. I'm gonna try to apply it just with my finger with no product underneath. So I'm not wearing primer or anything because I've tried this formula with NYX Glitter Primer, I've tried it with setting spray, and today I want to try it on its own. Okay, so it's kind of like a orangey gold. I don't know why, but in the pan, it kind of looked more like a greeny gold, but now that I'm looking, well, maybe this one is duochrome too, because I see kind of greeny gold, but in the palette it's kind of like a bronzy orangey gold, so I'm not sure. And I want to use the shade Siren Song, which is kind of this brownie color. We're gonna apply it in the outer half. No, it's kind of more like a reddish brown, maybe almost like orangey brown, so it's definitely good fit for the coastline shade. Okay, and for the highlighter, or like the inner corner, I'm gonna use again the water nymph, because it has a bit of like a goldy green tone to it, or like shift. And the other highlighter is pink, which I don't think pink would fit with this. And then I'm just gonna finish this look. Okay, so this is the finished third look with the Siren Sunset palette. I only have this shade and this shade left, so I'll figure something out for tomorrow. Today I think it's neutral enough. I don't think I can do more neutral look than this. I wouldn't be happy with the look if it was more neutral than this. So when it comes to the product that I've used, again the Rimmel mascara as per previous looks, then the L'Oreal Gel Intensa eyeliner in black. I was lazy to use eyeshadows for that, so we used gel liner, and I went more like straighter wing than I usually do. And then I used the Solmane Wooden's Eye gel liners, the Solmane collection, and this one is in 013. And then on my under eye area, I've put the Maybelline Superstay concealer, and mine is in the shade 10. Then I used the Unearthly Devour collection lipstick, and this one is the shade Destroy, which I haven't really used that much, but I thought today it's kind of like a fun and neutral look. It's a cool toned, kind of beigey, grayish green, and I thought it would really fit the eye look. And I don't know, I just need a fun lip since the look is so not boring, but like, you know, it's not my regular style. Then for blush, I was kind of lazy to look for my Berry M blush, so I used the Glamlight Scooby-Doo blush, and I used the Daphne side, the pinky one, the powdery pink. And then I used the Sheglam Chromazone highlighter, and this one is Lucid. So this is the finished look. I will also show you close-ups of this, and yeah, that's it for the third look. And now let's just jump right into the last look of this video, the look number 4. Yes, we're gonna start with the shade Mystery. So I'm just kind of slowly gonna blend it in the crease, just kind of softly blending. Now I want to use the vibrant purple called Seductress, and I want to create kind of like a smoky liner look. So I'm taking an angled brush, and I'm starting to kind of stencil out the liner part, so kind of like this. And now I need to use the shade Silver Sea because I haven't used it yet. So this one, it kind of looks satiny, so I don't know what I should expect. But I'm just applying it with my finger. It doesn't have a lot of sparkle to it. Now I want to take the shade Sea Witch. This one. This beautiful duochrome that goes from pink to green. And I want to apply it on in the beginning of the crease here. Like a smaller brush. And now I want to take the shade Pink Pearl again. And we're gonna use it as a inner corner highlight. Okay, so this is the fourth and final look with the Siren Sunset palette. And I've officially used all of the shades at least once, some of them twice, to finish this look. I've used the same mascara as in the other looks as well, and then I used this Colourpop gel liner. This is in the shade Amethyst Hour. Then I used the Maybelline Superstay concealer, and on my cheeks I have the Berry M Fresh Face blush, and in the shade Summer Rose, and then the Colourpop highlighter in the shade Heart of Gold because I don't use it all that much, so I wanted to use it today. And I quite like this look. It's very like airy, and I feel like I've seen looks like these for the past year on Instagram and on TikTok and everywhere. So this is my take on it. I usually don't do these like light, airy looks, but today I thought, well, why not try it? And when it comes to the review of this formula, I love the mattes. The mattes are amazing. They're so nice. I don't need the neutral ones, but all the colorful mattes work perfectly. I love pretty much the entire two bottom rows. From the top row, I only like the deepest matte, and then I like the inner corner highlight. But otherwise, I don't need these two mattes, and I don't really need these two mattes either. They're not they're not gonna get a lot of uses. When it comes to shimmers and the multichromes, duochromes, and stuff like that, I like them all. I think they're not as like wet looking, sparkly, metallic as I'm used to from indie brands, but they wear really nicely. Throughout the day, I didn't notice any creasing or anything, even with the multichromes. I really like the two inner corner highlights, this one and this one. They look amazing on the eyes. They're not the most shiny and like blinding formula, but I kind of like them for it because you can also use them on your cheeks, and they're really beautiful on your cheeks as a highlighter. I like that these two multichromes are that kind of like purple to green shift, or like pink to green and purple to green, because that's one of my favorite duochrome multichrome shifts. This shade is also amazing. I could live without these two, definitely without the silvery satiny shade, because that's just not my journey. I don't think I'm gonna touch it after this review, but I really like the color selection. I can see a lot of other looks that I can do with this palette. If you're more neutral type of person, then I think this is a nice introduction of colors, and especially like these cooler toned blues and greens. I feel like they were really popular in the recent months. I hope that many will come out with something really colorful and fun in the future as well. So that's it for this review. Let me know if you've picked this palette and what do you think about this color story, and let me know if you've ever tried Lunar Beauty and kind of what was your experience, if it's your favorite brand or if you have other indie brands that you like more. Definitely happy that I got this palette and that I was able to try the formula. I don't know if I would pay the full price for this. I'm really happy that I got it 50% off on Monolith. I don't know if I would actually spend the full price on this, but it's also because there were so many releases lately that I was super excited about. And realistically, I know that if this was for full price, I wouldn't buy it just because there's not enough shades for me to use. But for 50% off, it's nice. And if you like neutrals as well as colors, then I think it's worth the price just for me, because like, I don't know, third of the palette isn't something that I'm gonna use often or ever maybe. It wouldn't be worth the full price, but that's just me. Maybe you, I know that there are a lot of people who enjoy neutrals as much as they enjoy colors, so if that's you, then yeah, I would go for it. She's so pretty. I can't stop looking at the packaging. It's just too pretty, honestly. So yeah, that's it from me. Let me know what you thought about this review. And if you want to see more looks, I'm definitely gonna post more looks with this on my Instagram and on my TikTok in the next couple of days. And then, you know, throughout the next year as well. I usually kind of rotate my palette, so you will see her eventually on my Instagram and on my TikTok. And yeah, that's it for me. Have a great day, and I will be very happy to see you in my next video. Bye!